I got the aircraft model in one of the Halloween surprise boxes that I unboxed a couple of weeks ago, and normally I would never have picked up this aircraft model, but did I miss out on something? We will find out right after the drop. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A321NEO of Sri Lankan Airlines. At the front of the box we have the cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Sri Lankan Airlines branding. Then on the back side of the box we have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life provided by Herpa, and that's all we get here. Still way better than the current boxes from Herpa Wings. And here she is, the Airbus A321NEO in the current livery of Sri Lankan Airlines. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I would probably never have picked up this aircraft model on its own. Not because of anything against the model or the airline as such, it's just that it doesn't match any of my fleets. But since I got the aircraft model in one of the Herpa Halloween surprise boxes, I thought, hey, why not review it and see if I missed out on anything? So let's see if it's any good. And we start off with the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the Sri Lankan Airlines branding. On top of that we have the last two letters of the registration code. The full registration code of the aircraft we then find on the fuselage, where we also have the web address of the airline. And at the very tail of the aircraft we then also find a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the writing of Sri Lankan. We also find the flag of Sri Lanka, and underneath the cockpit windows we have the aircraft type specification. And other than that we actually don't get too many details around the cockpit section. I mean, we have the cockpit windows and the window wipers printed on, and above the cockpit windows we find the last letter of the registration code, but that's all. And we won't find many more printed details on the engine nacelles either. I mean, here we have the silver leading edge and we have the Sri Lankan Airlines branding, but that's it. Then the engines of course also have the known issue that they are looking good, but they are way too big, leaving this really ugly issue with having pretty much no ground clearance that Herpa unbelievably still hasn't fixed. And the fact that we can look into the engines from the front and very nicely see the engine fan blades just doesn't really cover for that. And then we can move on to the wings to take a look here at the top side, where we can see we have the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out very nicely. We also have some different shades of grey for additional detailing. However, we have seen examples where we also have a little bit more printed details. We're missing out on them here. The underside of the wings I think look rather fine. Here we also find the full registration code of the aircraft once again, and then of course we also have these lovely winglets, which I think have a lovely touch with the red color here. Herpa's done well with those. And then we have the landing gear, and while it is not terrible, especially not the main landing gear, it's also not great, especially not the front landing gear. And it's even worse when we know that Herpa used to make landing gears for the A320 family that looked way better. And then we can quickly take a look at the belly to see a lovely print detail here that however has been destroyed by a hole in the fuselage for a stand which is not included with this aircraft model, and I will get more into that in just a second, because I also quickly want to mention that the doors to the cargo compartments have been printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A321NEO in the current livery of Sri Lankan Airlines from Herpa Wings in scale 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, to answer the question from the beginning of the video right away, no, I don't think I missed out on much with this aircraft model. Not because of the livery, that is looking great on the A320neo, but the model itself is so basic that it almost hurts. And Herpa holds back on added printed details because they say it's too expensive to add these details. But Herpa then adds a detail to the belly of the aircraft, and don't get me wrong, the detail should be there, but the fact is I will probably never see it. So why not leave that away if you're going to destroy it anyway, and then give me some details on the fuselage instead? It's things like this with Herpa Wings that just make me shake my head, and it's a shame because this aircraft model would really have deserved a better treatment from Herpa. So in conclusion, if you are a fan of the airline, you might want to buy it anyway because you just are a fan and can live with these issues. Otherwise, honestly speaking, there is no good reason to buy this model. So with this really disappointing conclusion, it's time to end today's video. If you have enjoyed the video nonetheless, nonetheless, then do feel free to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. And with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.